The outbreak of the coronavirus has put attention on agriculture as one of our essential businesses. Our farmers and the supporting ag industries have continued to work through these difficult times, planting this year's crops and caring for their livestock to keep our food supply chain up and running, all among depressed markets and even a stronger demand on our food banks.
Right. Agriculture is the largest economic sector in Tennessee. Creates more economic activity than any other industry. It's why our farmers, our livestock producers, our food suppliers are such an important part of the economy here. They're also a very important part of the food chain, which is challenged.
You know, the food supply chain is strong. We do have some major challenges there. For sure, on the farm end, the production of all the commodities is good.
I think as far as the agricultural community in Weakley County, I think one word is everybody's frustrated.
Seems like the only thing we're getting a break on is fuel, because everything else is about the same price that we've always given for it.
So, you know, to plant a crop, not pencil a profit on the front end with no hope of penciling a profit right now with the way prices look. You know, it's just there's not many industries that's going to do what we do.
I know the dairy industry is really struggling right now. We've been in a 4 to 5 year, under break even pretty much.
Kind of typical agriculture. There's always a black swan out there that we don't see coming that affects our markets, and we'll go through this and survive it.
I think the worst part of the whole thing is the uncertainty of knowing. You know, usually we know pretty well what's going to happen tomorrow or what could happen, but right now we don't know what could or what couldn't happen.
I don't think I've seen a sector that hasn't been affected in terms of agriculture production in the state.
The COVID-19 pandemic has left all of us uncertain, and especially for our farmers, the dramatic decline in prices they get paid for their products is real.
What we've been looking at recently is declines in row crop prices. So the principal row crops that we've looked at for Tennessee is corn, cotton, soybeans, and wheat. And what we've seen is dramatic price decline since the start of 2020. So from the beginning of January up until the first week in May, we've seen price declines from anywhere between 10 up to 21% in terms of cash prices that Tennessee farmers are receiving.
Dr. Aaron Smith says the price declines caused by the pandemic have come at a time when farmers were already struggling to survive at break-even prices for their commodities. And if the trends continue, we're talking millions more lost in the ag industry.
And, just for these 4 crops, and in terms of the immediate impact, in terms of just producer income, I'm not talking about any other income that reverberates through the rural economy, we're somewhere around that $40 million in actual realized decreases in producer income, with the potential for another $60-70 million just on the 2019 crop. If we see prices where they're at right now, without any type of price recovery, you get close to that $270 to $300 million declines in producer income.
And that's just for row crops. That doesn't include the hit to the horticulture, specialty crop, and forestry industries here, not to mention the immediate impact for farmers with livestock and poultry. Those losses are in the millions as well, and still counting. Another dramatic impact that the pandemic is affecting is the demand on our food banks across Tennessee. And recently, the governor and first lady drew attention by volunteering to help sort food at Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee and Nashville.
Here we are at Second Harvest Food Bank. Maria and I just packing some boxes, hoping to encourage others to do the same. There are a lot of people struggling in our community as a result of this COVID-19 pandemic, economically and otherwise. So Second Harvest is like a number of nonprofits serving Tennesseans all over the state. We're proud of the work they do, proud to highlight it and encourage it, and really proud of the way Tennesseans have stepped up and served one another. So, like right here.
What we're seeing right now from a food going out the door, it's about a 40% increase. We've seen over a 50% increase in need. Our donations as it relates to food from grocery stores, which are understandable, are down right now. So we are having to purchase significantly more food to get that out to the folks that are in need. But I mean, you guys were in the warehouse with the governor, and this warehouse will put out about 650,000 pounds a week Typically, it's over 1 million pounds a week right now, and it's continuing to grow because the need continues to grow in our community.
Food banks play a really important role. They bridge the gap sometimes for families between a struggle and their ability to get back on their feet. They're incredibly important. It's one of the reasons that we need folks to engage all across Tennessee. I've been so proud of the way Tennesseans have helped one another, serve their neighbors, for those who can, to support those who cannot. I'm encouraging folks to donate, to volunteer, to connect with nonprofits all across this state to help those that are particularly struggling in the pandemic.
It all starts with agriculture, so our partnership with the agriculture community is critical and continues to be something that we will foster and nurture for the years to come, because that's where it starts and ends on people's tables, and people need that food. And one of the things that we're really trying to do is make sure that there's that balance of nutrition. So it's not just a dry food box. Produce food boxes have become part of our staple now, so people have that mix.
Well, no doubt it's been a challenging time for everyone, including an even greater demand on our food banks across the country.